I'm going to show you 5 tips to use AI in your songs, which will speed up your workflow and lead to better music. And you won't risk copyright issues with any of these techniques. Let's go. Number 1, generate chords and melodies. Actually, this is where AI can really help you. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques. So, ChatGPT. Here's my prompt. Can you give me 5 chord sequences that have been used by the Killers in their music, please? So it's returned 5 chord sequences. So Mr. Brightside's the first one. D, G, B minor, then A, and the sequence drives the upbeat rhythmic quality of Mr. Brightside. So again, it gives you a little bit of context around the music. We've also got another option here from Read My Mind, and as you can see for each of them, it's giving you a little bit of context, so that's helpful. And then I also asked it what sort of melodies would work with these, because again, you might be stuck on melodies and it might give you some thoughts and some ideas. So this is a really good way of overcoming writer's block. So we've got ideas for each of the progressions you've had. So we've got an example idea, start with an ascending notes D, E, F sharp, and G over a D chord. So you could give that a shot. You can go and literally take this away and have a play around with it. So ChatGPT is pretty cool, but there are also AI chord generators out there on the market. Example of one that I've seen is by a company called LANDR, and I'm going to show you it quickly now. You can literally add tracks to it. So I've got chords currently shown here. I'm going to add melody like this. And what you can do is you can just literally press this button up here, and it just gives you chord sequences that work. Okay, so LANDR Composer is another good way you can break down your creative barriers, come up with new chord sequences, come up with new melodies. But again, I would use them as a starting point, and actually I'd go away and play around with them. And then in that way, you're creating your music from a starting point. Number 2, improve lyrics. Some of you are incredible songwriters, incredible lyricists, and some of you need a bit more help. So check out ChatGPT. I've written a verse and I need help expanding it to create a full song. Can you analyze the verse and tell me the theme and give me some ideas for taking it forward, please? So then I just shared my 4 lines separated by a full stop from a song that I wrote in like 2003 when I was a young, angsty musician. And look what it's done. It has firstly started off with some theme analysis, talk about some of the themes that have come out of this one verse. So imagine you've just written a verse and you're not really sure what it's kind of saying, and you kind of, you like it, it sounds and it feels good, but it can break down what's going on in that theme: change and inevitability, mortality and finality, isolation and reflection. And it gives you all these ideas about how to expand it into a song. So in the chorus, it could be about acceptance or it could be about resistance, and it gives you some ideas. Again, don't just take these exactly, but use them to drive you forward. Then I also realized I didn't really like the final line of the verse. So I said, can you propose other rhymes that I could use rather than remains, please? So ChatGPT is really helpful for giving you rhymes. So my final piece for improving lyrics is just paste them into ChatGPT. So this is my song, The State of You, which I've released in November 2024. I've just pasted the lyrics in and I've said, can you analyze the following lyrics and give me suggestions about the song? What is good, what is weak, what is unclear? And then I've pasted the lyrics in. And if you check out what it does, it gives you some nice strengths. It's emotionally charged. It's got clear themes. But then it says, what can we improve? So there are some vague or overloaded lines. The melodic fit of one of the lines it thinks might be quite hard to fit into the song. So some really helpful weaknesses. So again, you've written a song, chuck it in ChatGPT and ask it to analyze it, and it gives you some really good ideas. Oops, I've hit my free plan limit for GPT 4.0. I'm cheap. I don't pay for ChatGPT. I don't think you need to. 3, AI mastering. Now, I've spent lots of money over the years on different mastering engineers, and I've mastered every single one of my songs that I've released, and it is quite expensive. So AI mastering seemed really positive to me when I first heard about it, because obviously it's a way of bringing down the cost. Now in 2025, my plan is to release lots of songs, lots of music, maybe 10 to 12, and I can't afford to pay $100 each time to master my songs. So AI mastering is a really good option for me. But is it any good? Now, before any of you shout at me in the comments about the importance of mastering, don't get me wrong, I know it's important. So I've heard a few people say recently, you are mixing for the listeners, not the audio engineers. So actually, frankly, the mastering that you're paying all this money for, you can do much more quickly. And actually, the general listener on their earpods or on their headphones can't tell the difference anyway. There are loads of different mastering options. I'll name 4 here. There's Cloud Bounce, there's eMastered, there's LANDR, there's Master Channel. These are all great options. Do some research, go out there and have a look at it. But I'm going to now show you it with LANDR. Okay, so here is my song, No Surprise, that will be released early 2025. So I'm going to show you bringing in the LANDR Mastering Pro. So I drag it down into the track and play the loudest part of your song. It could happen to you. And then what you can see here is you've got lots of different options here. I can use warm or balanced or open style as the main choice, but you can also play around with all of these little knobs here and really play around with it until you're happy with how it sounds. I would recommend using AI mastering. It's really good these days. 4, come up with marketing content. So I'm not going to show you the screen here, but ChatGPT is incredible for helping you with marketing content when you look to release your song. So what I often do is I take my lyrics and I paste them into ChatGPT and I say, give me some ideas for content strategy for this song. Give you ideas for formats that you could use in TikTok, in Instagram Reels, or in YouTube Shorts. You can ask it to, extract the theme and think about what sort of imagery you want to have. It can help you understand the song in a way that you can really use in your concept marketing strategy. So for example, recently I used ChatGPT to help me write all the different biographies for Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and all the other places. So I fed it lots of information about me. I literally just did a prompt where I said, I make this sort of music. Here are the sort of things that have happened in my music career so far. Here's my sound. Here are the bands I sound like. Can you write me a compelling biography? 5, write music in different languages. Let me tell you a quick story. Robbie Williams, a British artist, broke France because he re-recorded all of his music into French. And actually the French listeners loved his songs and they loved the fact that he put time into their language so they could understand the music without having to be in English. So you can do that now. You can use ChatGPT to translate the lyrics of your song, and you can ask it to keep the scansion as similar as possible, which basically means the rhythm of the words, and you can get it to translate it into any language. And then you can use text to speech generators to speak the language back at you. So if you really wanted to, you could emulate Robbie Williams and you could sing your songs in any language and release them in other markets to expand your reach. So technology is amazing. If you want to know how to use Ableton, the software I was using today to recreate Ed Sheeran's loop pedal, check this video out here.